90-Day Fiancé. The true cause of Louisa's split from Tim. Tim Malcolm, the star of 90-Day Fiancé, and Luisa Beltran are no longer together. Their single life split's startling cause has finally come to light. Tim Malcolm and Luisa Beltran, stars of 90 Day, The Single Life, are finally revealing the stunning cause of their unhappy breakup. Tim is a North Carolina native who is 43 years old. He originally appeared in Season 3 of 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days, where he dated Jennifer Terrazona, Tim had to defend himself against claims made by admirers, who saw his lack of physical attraction to Jennifer, that he was gay or transsexual. In front of the cameras, Jennifer had questioned his sexual orientation. Jennifer had even mentioned that Tim's feminine characteristics made her feel as though she had a girlfriend. However, Jennifer bluntly suggested that Tim might be gay when he failed to make an attempt to kiss her on their first night in the same bed. Tim had been dating Veronica Rodriguez for over 10 years at the same time. Tim's presence in Veronica's life caused jealousy and insecurity among her lovers, such as Jamal Menzies. Following his disclosure that they had broken up, Tim's new girlfriend Luisa has also made remarks on Tim's sexual orientation. Tim went to a singles event in Charlotte with Veronica, where he made an effort to meet new individuals for a potential date. He didn't get along with Rhonda, but Luisa, a familiar face, caught his eye as he was leaving. Tim said he had been acquainted with Luisa for a number of years. They were never able to meet face to face. In a bar full of Southern women, Veronica quipped that Tim needed to find the one Latina woman from Colombia. Tim described it as fortuitous. He had solely dated Hispanic women for the previous 15 years, as Veronica pointed out to him. Tim has known Latina Veronica for 15 years. Luisa said to the cameras that the reason they didn't get a chance to meet in person was because she had met another man at the same time she met Tim online. Tim inquired as to Luisa's hobbies. She claimed to enjoy a glass of wine and cuddling while watching a movie. Tim called Luisa perfect and claimed she was beyond his skill level. He proposed Luisa so he could enjoy himself. How was the first date with Tim and Luisa? Tim had not felt this enthusiastic about meeting someone in a very long time. He acknowledged that he admired Latina women's accents and cultures and thought they were more feminine. Tim brought Luisa to a croquet game. Luisa found Tim to be handsome. She had been enthralled with his green eyes and his scent. Tim questioned Luisa about her main priorities for ensuring a long-term relationship, and Luisa replied that she was affectionate. She anticipated frequent PDA and constant kissing from Tim. What did Tim and Luisa get wrong? Tim, on the other hand, asserted that he was Southern and worked slowly. Luisa had always desired a PDA kind of boyfriend, and Tim was not it. Tim liked to go cautiously in romantic relationships. Not just another notch on the belt was what he desired. Tim was searching for a committed, long-term partnership. Tim stated that until he was certain he was interested in being with that individual, he would prefer not to have sex. After their first date, Luisa gave Tim a 5 out of 10. She wished Tim would enroll in Spanish classes. Tim felt a connection with Luisa and felt a chemistry between them. It was usually Luisa who approached him to start a romantic gesture or a kiss. Tim asserted that he was unaware of the cues Luisa was giving him. Luisa was positive that Tim was not interested in him because of his discomfort. Except that he had just eaten, Tim felt it was the perfect time for them to share a kiss. Tim was afraid that Luisa would think he wasn't a decent kisser if he tried to brush. It was an extremely good kiss, in Luisa's opinion. Luisa says she believes Tim to be gay. After the kiss, Tim said to the cameras that he needed to be absolutely certain that Luisa shared his feelings in order for them to be happy. Luisa was aware of what was about to happen next. Tim appeared to be unsure of what he needed to be happy. There are admirers who wonder if Tim is straight because he is reluctant to kiss and get intimate with Luisa. Tim was aware of Louisa's strong desire for a kiss, but he hesitated to give it to her, which likely upset Louisa because she was too optimistic about the relationship to reject it. Next week, on 90 Day, The Single Life Tell All Part 4, the tale of Tim and Louisa will be covered. Louisa is asked by Sean Robinson if she was genuinely interested in Tim. Although Tim was never available to Louisa, she acknowledges that she really loved him, but they never became close. According to Louisa, Tim used to constantly blame his illness on other factors. Louisa spoke about his jaw, his mouth, his back. Louisa went on to say that she believed her pals when they said Tim wasn't into her or any other woman. What Louisa told Tell All Part 1 about Tim and Veronica. Louisa turned to face Tim after Sean questioned her about what she meant by it, saying, "I really think that you are gay." Louisa was sly when they got back together. She did all in her power to disparage Tim and Veronica. When Veronica and Tim were having nasty conversations behind each other's backs, Jamal said he was shocked to find them sitting next to each other. Tim and Veronica were charged by Louisa with pretending to be best friends. Tim told Jamal that nothing he said would be taken as gospel. Tim saw that Jamal had dubbed him a sweetheart, a derogatory term meant to allude to his sexual orientation. The strange term he'd used to describe a man like Tim infuriated Tim. "Does Jamal want to have me?" he questioned. Louisa supported Jamal in her attempt to demonstrate her ex-boyfriend's attraction to guys by teasing, "You wish," not once, but twice. Furthermore, Louisa stated that during a girls' night out, Veronica had once beaten Jamal for not having a job while intoxicated. During tell-all, Louisa and Jamal seemed to be close. Tim and Veronica were already seated next to one another on a single couch when Louisa and Jamal were brought onto the scene together to face them. Backstage, Louisa appeared nervous, but Jamal was there to reassure her. Louisa was reassured by Jamal that he would always be there for her. In the Tell All Part 4 teaser, Devi is also heard calling Louisa a knockout and remarking to her co-stars that Jamal is a handsome man. Although Devi is attempting to play Cupid, it appears like Louisa and Jamal are already enamored with one another. Was Louisa with Jamal when she left Tim? In the video, Jamal is seen asking Louisa if she finds him attractive. "Yes, you're hot," Louisa responds, flushing, and Jamal hoots in agreement. Veronica's jealous expression tells it all. Chantel is conversing with the cast of 90 Day, The Single Life backstage while she is telling them something. She instructs them to keep what they've heard from her a secret. Chantel claims it's probably nothing, but she did see Lisa and Jamal at the hotel's restaurant. Chantel is implying that following their breakups with their respective relationships, Jamal and Louisa went on a date.